All right, so my favorite boxer of all time is Charles Sonny Liston. Like if you watch his documentary or you read about his life, bro, he really had a very traumatic childhood. His father used to beat him like mercilessly, till he couldn't cry no more. And I feel like that is so, and he was so understood. Most people didn't understand him back then. But and this is one thing too. He fell in love with boxing. Because when he grew up, he used to cause problems. One time he beat up a cop and stole his gun, and from that day onwards he became a target. And like it's so sad, honestly, when you listen to his story, and nobody knows the day that he was born. And that is so sad. Like living, but nobody knows the day that you were born. Like honestly, that is so sad. And when he went to prison, the pope or the priest at the prison saw that he had the talent. He could box with a lot of people, and he would defeat every one of them. And so the priest, saw that talent in him, and he began to practice and practice. So when he got outside, he was able to start becoming a boxer, but everybody was afraid of him in his, in the division. And I think he was a heavyweight. And back then, due to racism and all this stuff, people really, the higher ups, didn't really want him to participate. But it's so sad. Like, and one thing too, nobody, he died mysteriously. Nobody, knows, the cause of his death. And this is one thing too, he was afraid of needles. But when they found him, they saw a needle and heroin injected into his system. And I feel like he was, unalived, sadly. But I understand that he was part of a mob. He was a mob enforcer. He used to go, and when the mob needs their money back, he used to go to these people to collect the money and give it to the mob. And so yeah. But yeah, take your time and listen to the full story of Sonny Liston on YouTube or other platforms. But for me personally, he's a legend, and he deserves his flowers. What are your thoughts in the comment section below? Peace out.